Okay. Well, hello everyone. We're looking at the engine for the robot, and this engine is being shown in KeyShot, which is a rendering program. So every time we alter the view, then the rendering program is going to start recreating the view, and the number of samples that are in the view determine how pretty the view is. So just be aware. But I think that it's a pretty view, and we'll go over how this engine works. And you can see that I've actually divided the engine over here into the parts that move and the parts that don't move. And the parts that don't move include a housing that acts to give support to the crankshaft, and an upper crankcase, which we can see here. I've colored it yellow, and this bottom part of the robot non-moving parts has had a hole cut in it, and that's so that you can see inside there. And these are just the non-moving parts. So the crankcase is, the crankshaft is in there turning around, and the pistons are inside each of their cylinders going up and down, and there's a valve up here that controls all of the different gas flows. And you can see that I went over here and put it on performance mode, because performance mode lets you move around faster and see things. And I've added some lettering. This is the chamber here where fresh air has been brought into the engine and is compressed by the piston in this cylinder. That fresh air is sent. That fresh air, once it's compressed, is sent through this tube, through this rotating valve system, and it takes that fresh air and pushes it through this valve, and that fresh air goes over here into the combustion chamber. And you can see that the piston head of the compressed air chamber is at essentially top dead center, right when the piston head of the combustion chamber is at top dead center. And this valve was turned sufficiently that the air in the compressed air chamber was not able to go into the combustion chamber until this valve turned around and brought this into an alignment that allowed the compressed air to go over here. And you can see that we're calling this plus 10 degrees, and we can go down here to show plus 360 degrees. And at plus 360 degrees, it's perfectly lined up. So what has happened was the engine is at plus 360 degrees, so it has generated as much compressed air as it could, and right when it generated that compressed air, the compressed air went through this valve over here and was available to go into the combustion chamber. And this is the way this engine works. You can see that everything I'm explaining is being explained at zero motion speed, because it's nearly impossible to explain it otherwise. And you have to, in your mind, understand that the engine is actually moving. So this compressed air piston is going to come up, and as it comes up and gets to top dead center, this alignment is going to turn into place, so that this compressed air that was in this chamber and couldn't go anywhere now has a lined up tube so that it can go over into the combustion chamber, because prior to that it wasn't able to do that.